Good morning, Mojo. Mojo Monday, Rick Hale.
Mojo Monday, Brett Caldwell. Let's do this.
Let's do it. So we're excited. This is a little bit different Mojo Monday this week. Our intention in doing these is to create an inspirational message for a Monday morning to kickstart your week, a motivational message to kickstart the week. And I'm so excited to share this story because it's a cultural story. It's a motivational. There's a little tiered aspect to it, but at the end of the day, it's a very empowering story. And we wanted to just share this week to really kind of kickstart our weeks together. We're excited. So here we go.
Let's do it.
Uh-oh, that sounded like music.
Good morning, Keller Williams Signature Partners and Heart of Atlanta Group. My name is Bruce Mitchell. I am now the team leader at Keller Williams Elite Realty in Bonita Springs in Florida. I had the pleasure of serving as team leader of Keller Williams Marco Island for the last 2 years. And Rick Hale just asked me to share a story with you about my journey of where I am and how I got there. My journey started with Keller Williams Signature Partners, January 2014, when I became licensed there. It was in October of 2014 when my wife was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer. We had a daughter at the time, about 2 years old, and we were pregnant with our son at the time. Within that course of a year, the following year through October 2015, she unfortunately passed and was elevated to heaven. And so I was a widowed father of 2 children. But during that 1 year time, Keller Williams Signature Partners, led by Lynn Doty, the team leader at the time, really rallied around my family and I, from delivering meals to her home to helping us with the remodel of our house that we were trying to remodel completely and gutted. From Red Day, coming out and doing landscaping, helping with the renovations of our house. And everything in between, encouragement, love, support, you name it. It was just an outpouring of God's grace and love through the market center. And I can't explain how that affected us. I know that we lost coverage and insurance for about 19 days, which incurred about a $26,000 bill. Lynn and Jeff Buffo encouraged me, kind of twisted my arm a little bit to fill out a KW Cares grant. Didn't think I needed to, was a little bit prideful at the time. I thought we could do it on our own. And yet we're so blessed that we did that, because Keller Williams Cares did go to bat for us and gave us that check of $26,000 to cover those medical bills. And of course, the market center had to raise at least 10% of that fund in order for that to happen. And so between everything that they did, it just displayed KW culture at its prime. God, family, then business, and it really is that. And so because of the outpouring of love and the display of leadership that I witnessed, it encouraged me to join the ALC and become a general manager of a business center there in the area. And that led me to the opportunity of becoming team leader in Marco Island for the last 2 years. And now I'm a team leader in Bonita Springs at KW Elite Realty. And I'm so blessed, so honored. I get to now pour back and share those same things to the agents that need it. And so I'm just blessed to be a part of this organization. You should be as well. It's not just a business, it is a family, and the culture is alive and well even today. So just wanted to share that motivation with you. No matter what you're going through, Keller Williams has your back, and they always will. And your leadership is outstanding, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them. Have a blessed day.
Man. Rick, such a powerful cultural story. Tell me more.
Well, Bruce was brand new to the industry and brand new to our company when, trauma and tragedy hit, and it was completely unexpected. His wife, Amanda, was, by outside looking in pretenses, was the epitome of health. She was a long distance runner and conscious of health. And, you just don't know what you don't know. And so part of this is the realization that today is the only day you have. Revel in it and make the most of it, because tomorrow there are certain unknowns. And for Bruce's world, got turned upside down quick. She actually was diagnosed while pregnant with their second child, Caleb, and they had a 2-year-old or 1-year-old at the time, and she successfully delivered, but unfortunately the cancer took her life. And the culture piece of it is, it's I can't imagine the pain he felt, but the way our office rallied, and I think the world's looking for rally cries and opportunities to serve and make a difference. And our culture not only hopes for it, but expects it. It's part of the DNA of Keller Williams. But then when it actually shows up and you feel that massive community hug, and everyone leaned in. I mean, like he said, from meals, time, energy, support, people helped him with his business. We raised funds. We paid for his entire, covered his cap for an entire year. And I love the thing about KW Cares, which there's real funds and opportunity. If you've got a need, put your ego on a shelf, bring it to leadership and let us help you. And that's what he was able to do, thankfully, through a couple of encouraging friends in the office, and received a $26,000 grant to help cover some bills between insurance coverage along the way. But the story just led to a rally cry and an opportunity. And, what I want everyone to hear is that we're here for you in that same way. And it doesn't have to be obviously as extreme as that. We're here for all, really all needs that you feel have significant value. And they did it all for him. I mean, they literally rolled up their sleeves, and there was no, they helped with renovations and landscaping. We committed part of Red Day to helping him. And because obviously the distraction would be unbelievable, and the emotional hurt and harm that it brought, was inconceivable. And so to have people that just continually show up makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I was asking myself this question as we were preparing, like, what are the lessons I need to learn from this story? Right. And a couple of things that stick out to me is how powerful is the power of community. And
Massive.
when you belong to something, it's not always the team leader. It's not always the leader of the organization. It's the community that wraps its arms around you. And that's really special when you get to lead that, but it's also really powerful when you're a part of that. And when you're a part of something that has that bigger meaning besides just everybody's in it for themselves, it's really, really, really special. And I thought that, but you made mention of making a difference. And I call that the leadership DNA. Like if you have inside of you just who you are as a person, that you want to make a difference for somebody else. It's just what like I said, I call it the leadership DNA, but it means your life's bigger than your own. You're doing something for somebody else. But I always challenge people, because there's opportunities that show up in our life at times, and you got to take the first step. You got to step into the opportunity. And even though you may have it in your heart to make a difference, sometimes you have to take the first step, because people are humble, they're prideful, they have ego and all those things. And I know how I am, and I'm sure most of our listeners are the same way. I can handle this on my own. I don't need the help. I'll figure it out. I'm prideful that way. But if somebody were to step in a time of need, that's really what community does. They take that first step. And that's what they did in this story, right? Like he talked about it. There were people in his life that stepped into that opportunity to make this difference. And we wouldn't be talking about this today if the tragedy hadn't happened, which is unfortunate, obviously. And God bless them for, moving forward in a very amazing way. But two, if there wasn't a community around him to make this difference. And three, if certain individuals didn't take a leap of faith and take that first step into going and making a difference, or pushing grant applications and things like that. So to me, I think that's really what I'm getting from this story, Rick.
Well, you can't solve a problem that's undisclosed.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to, I love this saying, a question unasked is a question unanswered. And probably one of the greatest questions to ask the people in your world that matter most is, how can I make your world better? How can I make your day better? What could I, what resource could I point to? And that truly elevates your experience or solves a problem. And by revealing an issue, then you can go to work on a tactical solution. And so needless to say, in this scenario, the issue and the challenge was omnipresent. And to your point, leadership stepped up. And, inside, one of the things that they did is we created an actual physical cookbook. I mean, this sucker's big. it's full of recipes. I don't know where we could get, I think we have copies somewhere. So call me Rick at rickhale.com if you want one. I'll try to find one. But my rib recipe and my sauce recipe and my wife's world famous casserole, mushroom macaroni and cheese casseroles in there. But it's legendary. And what's cool is the dedication. It was dedicated to Amanda and what she brought to the world in her life. And it's the accolades around leadership and the people that stepped up. There's about 40 names that are depicted in the book, and it's just special. And every dollar raised over the cost went straight to, helping him again survive a year so that one day he could thrive again. And the other thing I hope you heard in his story was that he didn't take tragedy, as a permanent state. It was definitively impactful forever. And the way he sees the world will never be the same, having lost someone that important to him and to his children. But at the same time, it's not what happens, what you do with it after it happens. And in his heart and mind, he knew he had to move forward on behalf of his children. And a few short years later, he's remarried a beautiful woman, and Kelsey's amazing. She was from the Naples area. And so having gone through, the cool part about who and what we are is we're here to grow, groom, and inspire leadership, and grow, groom, and inspire just your elevated you. We want you to find your potential, and we want to be some of the fuel in your tank. And for him, he went to the Leadership Academy. He joined the ALC. He then raised his hand and said, I want to lead and give back to the community that gave to me, and became a general manager in Rome, Georgia. And then from there, an opportunity for a team leader role in Marco Island, of all places, Florida, deep Southwest Florida, which was closer to home because they now have another child, which is wonderful. The two of them, Kelsey and Bruce, and they moved to Naples. And ironically, I was looking for an investment property in Marco Island closer to my dad. He has a place down there, Snowbirds. And I took a selfie on the beach with my wife and said, hey, I'm in Marco. What a beautiful place. Might want to live here one day. And about 30 seconds later, he says, you do remember that I'm the team leader and my wife's an agent. And that led to an incredible investment opportunity. And ironically, on the day that I closed, she went into labor with their child. And I feel like we should have dedicated the home to that child, of course. But what a beautiful story. And, she's living into her MREA dreams. He's the team leader now in Bonita Springs. He's moved on to even a bigger opportunity where he can impact more people. And, that law of reciprocity and contribution just keeps showing up. And she's got they're building teams in Georgia and Bonita Springs, Marco Island, Naples, just exercising the model. And it's fueled by a huge heart and purposeful, why.
Yeah. Well, Rick, I'm sitting there thinking, do we just lead the story and let it be what it is, or should we challenge everybody? Because that's kind of our thing. I guess my challenge to everybody would be this. One is, if you're the person going through something, don't let your pride or your ego or your whatever it is get in the way of letting the community wrap its arms around you. One. And two, if you're in the community and somebody that needs their arms wrapped around it, you be the person to take the first step into the opportunity to go make a difference. It's never the wrong step to take.
Yeah, that's it. Beautifully stated. First, be transparent about needs so that you serve someone else's need to serve. Like, good people want to do good things and want to help people that matter, and you matter. We care and we love you. And so if you don't reveal a need, we can't help you solve it. And you've deprived us an opportunity as a community. And so you nailed it. And step two is ask better questions, be available, take a deep breath and take a few extra minutes to sit back and just listen so that an opportunity to serve reveals itself. And you get that intrinsic boost in your world for having served.
There you go. Mojo Monday.
Mojo Monday. Have an awesome one. We're here for you.